What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Update 5-6 today. If you're watching on YouTube, we got a new graphic that we are dropping. Just announced it on Instagram this morning. Check it out. A little collab with Jimbo Phillips, the infamous Santa Cruz amazing graphic artist that builds and makes some of the coolest swag ever. Anyway, today's Weekly Update, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about AI and the world of AI, what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about K&D and an update from our planning session yesterday, Q3. So let's start jumping into this thing. First off, just want to congratulate the K&D team. Good job, guys. We got the most patriotic in the 4th of July float 3 years running, which is pretty cool. I don't know, there's got to be over 100 floats out there in the Aptos parade, and to take the most patriotic is pretty cool. I think it's just a testament to the community trust that we've built over the years and how important it is to give back and be a part of your community. When people see our K&D logos out there on our trucks, they're going to attach it to the work we're doing in the field and the work we're doing in the community. Showing up for a parade on 4th of July is exactly the type of thing that fits our core values, our ethos, and our brand. So thank you guys for coming out. Everyone who supported it, Aptos and the community here on the Central Coast, appreciate you guys. Let's keep rocking. So Q3, our planning session was yesterday, and this is a very unique planning session for me. So I'm going to unpack that for you guys. First off, planning sessions every 90 days are critical. The cadence around planning sessions and the 90-day cycles is everything when you're trying to accomplish amazing goals and you're trying to move your company forward. And you're trying to move your company forward faster. Change management is not easy, but when you can get together every 90 days, talk about what changed, talk about what went well and what didn't go well, your opportunities to improve skyrocket. I'm telling you guys, it's the best way to operate. So I've unpacked this before. We're going to unpack it again just quickly. Our leadership team meeting, our planning session is the first thing that happens. That actually happened in June in Chicago. We spent a full day plus multiple days at Leanscaper, but we spent a full day on Wednesday with a facilitator in the room helping the leadership team plan out the next 3 months. We then went back to Watsonville and we met with every one of our departmental teams. So residential construction, commercial construction, maintenance, enhancements, and water management all looped together. Then our growth team met, our finance team met, our operations team met, our technology team met, and our people team met. And in those meetings, they created their 90-day plans, reviewed how they did over the last 90 days, and basically set the standard for success. And because all of the leaders who were in the leadership planning session then went and ran their own departmental planning sessions, the messaging, the themes, and the focus of the company are all aligned. That type of hierarchical alignment in an organization is so key. If you have planning sessions where people are in a planning session but weren't in a leadership planning session, so to speak, then you're going to miss a big part of it. And if you have planning sessions where you don't have people in them because you don't think that they are important to the overall vision of the company, then you're going to be missing out on that alignment as well. Now, our all hands meeting is the conclusion of this cycle. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks, and we get through everybody's planning session, and then we basically finalize it with an all hands meeting or a management planning session, as we call it. That happened yesterday, Friday, hence why I'm recording this weekly update on Saturday, July 11th. What we did yesterday was pretty cool. Each department provides a 5 to 20 minute presentation, depending on how much change is happening. So, for example, artificial intelligence and our technology department that Sean runs is going to have a longer and more robust presentation than maybe commercial or residential construction, who is basically just working off their plan that they built back in January. And our growth team that is quickly expanding now into San Luis Obispo, that we opened a branch March 1st, we're going to have a little more time to talk about how the growth is going in those new regions. So each one of our team members, or should I say leaders, gives a presentation. There's about 8 presentations in total. It's a lot, but we're getting pretty good at them. We also do a lot of fun team building exercises. So we built bridges out of popsicle sticks. They did a big scavenger hunt after lunch. And it's just a way to come together as a team and really bond while also planning the future. So here's what's unique about yesterday. Two things. First off is we rolled out and teased our operating system that we're building here at K&D, the K&D OS. So it was our first time really publicly sharing that with anyone outside of the leadership team. Shout out Sean for really spearheading this mission, this project, and also for giving a really great presentation. He played a 5-minute video that really walked us through what the operating system is going to do. And I can tell you guys, this is freaking mind-blowing. So most of this is, I can't talk too much about it. We're staying very, very quiet on this because I do believe this is going to be a massive strategic advantage over the next 3 to 5 years. And what we're building is no technology company could build this. No external vendor can build this. This is bespoke. This is unique. This is built on the K&D ethos and our operating system that we've operated on. We've rolled out the Rockefeller habits and scaling up in 2015. We rolled out core values and our purpose in 2016. We've been operating on EOS since 2018. So we know strategy. We've actually never missed a planning session since 2016. So 10 years. We're coming up on our 42nd planning session in a row, or 42nd quarterly planning session cycle. And that's unique. Very few companies are doing that. We also have our K&D fundamentals. We have Predictive Index. We have Bloom. We have Aspire. We have Leanscaper we're working with. We've got all of these systems, an amazing tech stack, and a lot of amazing corporate strategy that we've implemented into our business. We have a lot of humble, hungry, and smart, if you are familiar with that, in the hiring process. We've partnered with Greenius on the training side. We've done good to great with Jim Collins, and he has led us in an amazing direction. We've been able to install a lot of things like the hedgehog concept and thesis into our business that has made us a better company. So many others amazing books, amazing processes. So what we're doing, and part of those amazing processes and things that we put in, is that they're unique to us. I don't think anyone else does it quite like we do it. Now, I'm not saying we're doing it correctly or it's the right way or the wrong way. It's the K&D way. And no software we buy could provide us with that, because what happens in Predictive Index is a behavioral analysis tool that we use in hiring and promotion and training and team building. Aspire's not going to talk to that, right? So we need an intelligence layer that can understand all of these things. And let's just say, for example, Predictive Index is your behavioral analysis. And for me, I'm a visionary. My exact pattern is called a maverick. Someone else on a team is a captain. Visionary, really free-flowing, go and fly by the seat of your pants, bring me decisions and I'll make them. But don't ask me to look at spreadsheets all day. Don't ask me to be detail-oriented. But other people in the company, like Drew, for example, you guys, congrats on 2 years, Drew, by the way. Drew's an altruist. And Drew really likes detail, having a checklist, moving through a set of things, and staying organized. And so we're going to work in two different ways. Imagine a software that when I log in, sets up my dashboard and my interface and how I view things that fits my Maverick profile. And then Drew, as an altruist, he logs in to the same software and he sees a whole different set of dashboards and a different experience. So when he pops up, it's like, boom, here's your checklist for the day, Drew. You got these 10 things, I log in. It's like, hey, Justin, how's it going? And so there's a little bit more, how's the family? How's this? How's that? What's on your mind today? Because if I see a checklist, I'm just going to turn my head. Now, I've adapted to this behavior in the aviation world because you have to be checklist disciplined and you have to have that detail orientation. So I've been able to adapt in that environment, and everyone can adapt to any environment. And that's what's happening in most softwares today. When you log in, you're getting the same user interface and experience that the other thousands and thousands of people that use that software around the world also get. That's what's different about the K&D operating system. It's not just the experience of the user that's going to be different, but it's the connectivity to our tools and the way we do things. So we use certain terminologies here like EST that most companies don't use. EST is our employee success team. We don't say HR. So if we're using a software and it's like the HR department, well, that doesn't work for us. So having our own custom-made interface is going to be able to have our own terminology and how we speak and how we talk. So we're really excited about that. What does it look like? Well, it looks like this. We're going to be adding more software over the next 12 months, not using less. But as we start to build out the software foundation, our operating system is going to sit in the middle of that. Think of a hub and spoke on a wagon wheel. In the middle is the hub. That's our operating system. That's what people log into. That's the interface that people see every day. And then every single spoke going out to the outer ring is a spoke to an outer software tool or database. So Aspire, for example, we just renewed our contract with Aspire for 2 years. A lot of people reached out. It's like, whoa, Justin, Aspire, 2 years? What's going on? Well, you guys, Aspire is the standard when it comes to data integrity in the landscape industry. They have an incredible work ticket system. They have incredible end-of-month closing procedure. They have audit trails. This software can actually adapt and become a GAAP standard software, general accepted accounting principles, because of the way it operates. And I know companies like Jerry Schill, who I just interviewed on Trades Talk, coming out soon, $200 million in revenue operating on Aspire. Okay, I can get behind that. So we really, really believe in not only where Aspire is today, but where it's going as a platform and a technology leader in the landscape industry. But we also believe in the data integrity and the auditability of the system. So that is, and now I'll say this, and Eli and the team over there will also admit and agree with this, is Aspire has a tendency to be a bit clunky. It has a tendency to be hard to learn. But why is that? It's because of the closed system, because of the auditability, because of the GAAP adaptability. You can't have both. You can't have a software that's super easy to learn and super friendly and has just no guardrails. There's some out there, no end-of-month closing process. And you get what I'm saying, guys. I'm not going to keep rambling. Okay. So the operating system's in the middle. We have our databases around the edges and our Aspire and other systems, our ERPs around the edges, QuickBooks, so on and so forth. But when people log in the morning, their email, their to-do list, the communication in Slack, all of this is rolling up into the operating system so everyone can have one source of truth, one place to go. We are also, I shouldn't say we have built an agentic community, a community of agents that do very specific things. Gosh, I'm really saying a lot about this. I don't know if I can air this. Fuck it. So this is just so cool. So we're building custom agents that work like us. We're building like an EST agent that helps train team members on their career paths. We're building a predictive index agent who can help decipher and align people based on behavioral needs. We've built agents that can identify issues that are created in Aspire, from site audits and irrigation technician audits and irrigation assessments on properties, that generate proposals and send clients information that we can then act on. It's getting freaking weird, guys. Like, the brain behind this that we've built is in Obsidian is absolutely wild. You guys should see Sean's Obsidian. It's, if you don't know what Obsidian is, just Google Obsidian and you'll see what it looks like. It's pretty cool. Okay, so that's what's going on in K&D. Oh, yeah, the other thing, right? So yesterday I announced that I am stepping back and taking a sabbatical from K&D. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be the CEO and I'm not going to do CEO type duties, building strategic vision, looking out 3 to 10 years, working with some of the leadership team members in more of a coaching capacity than a day-to-day leadership capacity. And the leadership team is going to be running the company. John, our COO, is going to be the de facto, CEO, quote unquote, and make sure that when things are needed to get done, he's doing those. My dad, Kendall, who's still very involved, has been this whole time. His title is and has always been the president, El Presidente. So he's there. He's ready to sign. He's ready to work with the bankers or whatever we need. I've got an amazing team in place. And now I get to spend time with my family, who we're actually having a baby shower today. And I get to think very, very deeply about the future of the company, of our industry, and our mission to raise the bar. Because we have some massive plans in 2027 and beyond. We have a goal of hitting $1 billion in enterprise value by 2035 and taking the company public. We have a goal of achieving a $100,000 minimum wage by 2035 or sooner, ideally sooner. But no matter what, I don't care if we have to have 100 employees instead of 100,000 employees, quality over quantity. We will achieve a $100,000 minimum wage by 2035. I promise and guarantee that. That is our guiding light, North Star, non-negotiable. I hope we achieve $1 billion. I hope we have $150 million in equity for our employees. I hope we go public. But those are hopes and BHAGs. The absolute non-negotiable lens that we will not move the line on is a $100,000 minimum wage by 2035. That is what we are doing and what we will do. So with this step back, I gave my team the vision. All right, this is what, and we've been working on this. It's not just one presentation. I reminded the team about the vision. Our goal to double by 2028, our goal to achieve certain net profit metrics over the next few years, our goal to increase minimum wage every single 90 days, our goal to achieve $100,000 minimum wage by 2035. I walked our team through exactly what we look like in 2028 so everyone can visualize 2.5 years from today, December 31st, 2028, exactly what we look like. What markets are we going to be in? We're going to be in Santa Barbara. We're going to be in San Jose. We're going to be in the North Bay. We're going to obviously be here in Santa Cruz and Monterey. We're going to be in San Luis Obispo, and we're going to be in some adjacent areas that we've already identified. But that's our region we are for sure going to be in. Santa Clara County down to Santa Barbara. And if you know California, you know that market. It is a fantastic market, but a very competitive market. And it's going to take a lot of work for us to be the dominant number one player in those markets, but that is our goal. By the end of 2028, we will be the dominant player, not the biggest, and probably not even the best. But I will say we want to be the most highest paying. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in to the weekly update number 56. And if you got to run, I totally get it. We're at our 15, 17 minute mark, but I'm going to give you guys a quick little AI update on where we're at today. So Fable 5 is ripping. It's an amazing product, and I highly encourage you guys. July 11th is the last day for you guys to utilize, actually July 12th. So tomorrow, today and tomorrow, it might actually start tomorrow. So I would just do it today. But Fable 5, you can go in and start getting after it today. But starting tomorrow, July 12th or 13th, something like that, usage credits now start July 13th. So, okay, you have today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, to go build some cool stuff with Fable before usage credits start to actually compound. And this is what's happening in AI. So a lot of software companies who are utilizing Claude and Anthropic right now, their token expense is doubling every 45 to 60 days. But their output is not growing very fast. This is Chamath from 8090 said this. He said they are doubling their token usage and their cost of tokens every 45 days. But the increase in efficiency every 45 days is like 5%. The reason being is they've got all the low-hanging fruit. And now to get that next layer of intelligence, that Fable 5 Mythos grade AI that's really going to create 10 to 20x engineers, that requires a lot more token usage because there's a lot more reasoning and a lot more thinking the AI needs to do and processing data. The more data you have to process, the more tokens you're going to use. This is one of those cycles that is really going to play out. So we're seeing Anthropic approach and actually just take over OpenAI in terms of recurring revenue. So right now, OpenAI is roughly Anthropic is 47 billion annualized run rate. OpenAI is just below that. So Anthropic's now shooting for an IPO, public offering. And they're looking like they may come in around that 2 trillion, 3 trillion market cap, which is freaking crazy because the first $1 trillion IPO just happened and it's SpaceX. They're sitting at about a 2 trillion market cap. They went public at around that 150, 160 per share. It popped to 200. It's back down to like 150 right now. And it means that it was priced pretty dang well. But if Anthropic IPOs at 2 or 3 trillion, that would be just crazy. And I just don't know if the public markets and the allocation of capital is there, but based on their growth and a $47 billion annualized run rate, I think people are going to find a way to get that money. So we also have OpenAI out there who's targeting a IPO. They've filed paperwork with the SEC. They are moving towards IPO. It's just who gets there first and who gets there second. And do you win if you're there first between OpenAI and Anthropic, or is second in the door actually going to learn something and win? So I feel like there's this kind of like standoff happening, and yet there's also a race happening. So we'll see what happens. If I had to bet money on it, Anthropic's going to go public before OpenAI. They're going to pop. They're going to have a higher market value. OpenAI is going to go second. They're not. And then this whole token usage and people, kind of the newness and novelty of what is happening starts to wear off. And the tech and development leaders and software companies and coding companies are going to start to kind of put harsher guardrails on tokenization and token usage. So I really do think that we're in a bit of a bubble, if you will, in AI utilization. It's not a bubble in terms of like a bell graph where it's going to drop off. It's more of this bubble. It's going to kind of like contract, but be much, much more quality and much, much more high dense usage. And then it's going to expand again as people start to roll out operating systems like I was talking about with K&D, because we're going to end up using, I'll just call it a shot. A year from today, I could see us being around, 40 to 50,000 a month in token usage. That's where I think we're going to land a year from today because of the amount of reasoning that it's going to be happening. It could easily be $500,000 a year, but think about that. If we can 2x our existing management team of 40 team members, well, I can tell you what the salary is on them on an annual basis on all of those 40 team members. It's over $5 million a year. So that means I can potentially add $5 million of capacity with $500,000 of salary. Now, don't quote me on any of these numbers, but we're just going to throw that out there. And we'll come back to this in a year, see how wrong I was. All right, guys, that's about it for Trade Stock Weekly Update 56. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Go get some sun. Stay cool if you're in AZ or Nevada or anywhere else. It's going to be like 115 this weekend. So, all right, guys, peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Trades Talk, where the next generation of disruptors comes to raise the bar. If you got value from today's episode, share it with someone in the trades who's ready to level up. For more tools, insights, and community, follow host Justin White and join the movement at jwhitegroup.com.